Three, two, welcome to the iRacers Lounge. I'm your host, Mike Ellis. iRacers Lounge is a podcast for the iRacer, where we talk all things iRacing in a casual setting. Joining me are the usual characters, Greg Hectus.
What's up, boys?
Yo, Brad Wren.
It's week 13. What a nice week to take a break and chill a little bit.
It has been a nice little off week. David Hall.
I am here.
On today's show, iRacing announces a new GT3 series. It's week 13 and time for release notes. Should you upgrade to the SemiCube 3? Another trip down the rabbit hole of Formula Wheels. Are haptic seats worth the cost? 2026 Season 2 social media roundup, and we found the Podium 1 rig that we can all afford. Wait.
That's right, Mike. And remember that you can follow along with us on your PC or your mobile device in real time as you listen to the show and see for yourself all the great topics and products we'll discuss by visiting iRacersLounge.com. Select the show notes. We hope to see you there.
So give me Liberty or give me the Freedom 250.
I'll take the Freedom 250. Coming up this August, guys, it's a 1.7 mile, 7-turn track. And the track has been out this week. I saw a video with the Honda simulator. I didn't look in that like it was iRacing specifically, but they had mocked up the track and they had an IndyCar driver kind of going around it, showing it off. It looked like, a lot of walls and on parking lot. It's kind of what it looked like when he drove it. But they didn't have all the buildings and the National Mall built out and the Congress and the White House and all these cool things that's going to make this such an iconic race.
Well, you're not going to see the White House because we're not going anywhere near the White House.
But it's on Pennsylvania Avenue. Oh, okay.
What, they don't want the cars near the White House?
No, Pennsylvania Avenue is a rather long road. So, yeah, you're not going by the White House.
I was just going to say, from the track map, it looked pretty simple. It's like a lot of 90-degree turns, and it just didn't seem
squarish.
It didn't seem the greatest layout.
Well, you got to think about, you're from Canada, so if you think about the way DC was built, it's all in sections. So it would be very difficult to get anything outside of pretty much right angles. So think about Chicago. Chicago, very similar. Outside of when you come through the fountain where you got the sweeps out a little bit, that's very similar. So, for a street course, I think it looks fine. I think it'll provide some good racing, multiple passing zones, which is good, and that's what you need in a street course.
And we need this in the IndyCar game that iRacing is obviously working on right now. And we need this in iRacing. And so I'm just going to call it out loud. iRacing, we want this track in iRacing. We want the Texas track in iRacing. So, pretty pleased with sugar on it.
I think, just looking at the track map, too, the cool thing is going over the actual, I guess, the river. What do you guys have that there? Or is that the mall?
That's the mall.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I can't tell what it is from here. I've never been to Washington, so.
It's like a pool of water that's not deep, right?
No, that's just at the reflection pool. The mall is a large grassy open space that runs the length from Congress all the way back down to the Lincoln Memorial.
Brad wins the Historian Award for the day.
I worked for about 6 years driving up in DC continually, so unfortunately very familiar with it.
All right. Are you familiar with the new Season 2 schedule yet, Brad?
I flipped through this a little bit. I've tried to get myself out of the habit of spending a ton of time looking at this because every time I seem to get excited after looking at this, something changes almost every single season. But Yeah, so Tyler Hudson's put this out. Again, it's very lengthy. You can run through everything. The one thing is kind of nice, it does give you some idea as far as temps and stuff like that if you want to start setting up to do anything ahead of time. To me, really no big surprises outside of at IMSA is going to be at the I guess the Nordschleife. That sounds horrible. I guess it's the combined Nürburgring and the Nordschleife. That'll definitely be a skip week for me. Last thing I want to do is have to deal with GTPs on the Nordschleife.
Yeah, I looked it up to see what the car was for the Ringmeister the first week so I could practice a little bit.
Is Mike, is that the start of that promotion with the Ringmeister series? Is that what it starts, this 12-week series where wasn't they?
Yeah, it's sponsored by Livery, I think it's called. It's
Yeah.
a clothing company where you can earn credits towards their clothing. Yeah, I chatted with those guys on social media a little bit, but yeah, I'm excited to participate.
All right, Greg, we've got a YouTube video showing Arlington GP in the IndyCar. That's kind of your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the Honda simulator I was talking about. This is another new track for IndyCar.
When is the Arlington Grand Prix? Is it coming up or is it after Indy?
I think it's this weekend.
Is it this weekend? Okay. I didn't. Their schedule. They usually have a break early, and I think they were trying to get some tracks out of the way early in the IndyCar season. But yeah, so it's Felix Rosenquist is doing an onboard here, just showing the basic layout without feels very non-detailed for the Honda simulator, but obviously they only need to have enough for the track and trying to learn it. I guess they'll get more of the depth with the things around it when they get to the racetrack or when they race it, I guess. But because this is the one that goes around Cowboys Stadium too, isn't it?
Yep.
Looks like it could be an interesting track. It's got a little bit more. It's got some undulation or whatever you call it, but not not too bad. It looks, but it has a zone that's got some high speed, quick corners there.
I think I
Pit
saw.
road entrance is kind of odd to me. Like the track naturally goes into pit entrance, and you have to not go that way, go right, and then go up back on the main track.
I think it's got one of the longest straightaways.
In
we're gonna
IndyCar?
have- Yeah. I think it's like a little bit longer than even, I guess, what Road America's. Yeah, the front stretch at Road America. So it's a long.
Wonder if it'll promote passing if they get some good drafting down the straightaway.
So again, the hope is iRacing is in place to scan this track as they're there, over the weekend, hopefully.
That's gonna be the art on those things would just be the more like doing all the art for the outside of the track is be the hardest part of all that.
Well, so if the IndyCar game is, I assume it's modeling the 26 season, just like NASCAR 25 was supposed to model the 25 season, correct?
You would think so, and
Yes.
yeah.
So did Mexico ever get released for NASCAR 25?
I can't tell you that. I could find it out. I haven't actually raced it. I'll look at while you guys keep going.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I mean I know it didn't. I know the game didn't ship with it, if I remember correctly, which was odd to me. But
Well, is it odd that there's no mention of either of these tracks in the development blog that we just went through last week or whatever, where he talks about everything under the sun they're working on, but no mention of these two tracks?
I don't think there was any mention of the IndyCar game at all, was there?
There wasn't, but you got to assume they're working on it, right? I mean, wasn't the plan to work on it in the spring of this year?
I think everybody expected a 26 release at some point, probably. I would imagine towards the fall.
Right. So means they got to be working on it. So they got to be scanning these tracks, or you'd hope. I hope.
Okay, before we get into show or release notes, being as it's build week, we have a whole series of social media posts from iRacing and others featuring certain pieces of the build. The first one is a car class update, Brad.
Yeah, just kind of quick hit on some of the updates that we got this this build, TCR update, GTE. So just again, it's just they typically will release some sort of visual representation of this. So yeah, just pretty quick hit as most of these are.
There's a tweet that the GTE class now has wet tires.
Yeah, and they show off the Ram truck. They show off the St. Petersburg, which is beautiful track.
It
Really
is
kind of
beautiful.
reminds me of Long Beach.
it's a really well done.
There's a video for the Audi RS3 Gen 2 TCR.
And short track refresh, reminding me that you like Lanier, which has looked really aged. I think it looked aged when I came into iRacing, but it's neat. Now I haven't actually been on it this week to check it out, but based on the video, man, it's night and day difference.
I was gonna say it was one of the original tracks because that was the rookie track for the Mid Legends forever.
Yep.
So you're saying Lanier got a new veneer?
Just
Title idea.
while we're on the update, that thing we were talking about, the other tracks for NASCAR 25, Portland, Mexico, and Bowman Gray, it doesn't look like they've been added yet.
There you go, precedent.
Yeah, I mean, I know we don't have we don't have Bowman Gray, but we do have Portland and we do have Mexico, so that's interesting.
I could be wrong though. I was just quickly looking. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah. So we're right into release notes. Other work they've done with updates on Barber, Lanier, Langley, USA. There's new HUD features. I really like the one that's a throttle brake, and you get the little brake trace that's red line, green line. That's really nice. I'm enjoying that. How do you turn on the visual spotter? I haven't figured that out.
It's
Probably
it's you have to go to Alt K and then turn on your all of your hidden boxes, and it'll be in one of those places. It's probably right now tucked down in the bottom left corner. When I logged in after the update, I actually had to completely redo all of my black boxes. Everything was gone. It erased all my settings completely. But in the process of doing that, I found the new stuff and some of the features that they had actually fixed. Like you can actually make the mirror taller now instead of just wider. I didn't know that had happened. Apparently, that was a build ago. And you can individually change the opacity of specific windows. So, like, I was always complaining that I couldn't read the text of the chat window, but now I have the opacity, the background of that window a lot darker, and boom, I can actually read the text again.
I was gonna say, Race Labs is probably pissed at some of these updates that iRacing's added in.
I doubt it, because they're never going to be as good as the third-party guys.
Well, that throttle brake time thing is basically exactly like Race Labs. It's just a little bit different with the.
Yeah, they all look very similar. Whether it's, I mean, there's a ton of difference. So, I mean, I turned that off. It's fine if you need it, but I don't use it. Yeah, I didn't have any issues, David, except for that was the only widget that was different. All my other stuff was where it was supposed to be. So, yeah, the opacity is nice, and you can actually individually resize every widget for the most part if you want to. So that makes things easier. But yeah, I mean, there's tons of stuff on there, and 99% of it I don't even have turned on.
So IMSA Vintage Car Class Refresh. This is exciting for me because one of my favorite cars of all time is the Audi GTO 90. And I have yet to try it after the update, but I'm going to do that tonight, actually. GTE car class refresh and TCR car class refresh. So that's a lot of work right there. Lotus 49 performance overhaul, and then Formula Car at short oval performance updates. So think IndyCar at Iowa, that kind of thing. Oval refresh update, rubber pickup and distribution improvements. Look, I looked for this last night or today at Vegas. I mean, I didn't notice anything about marbles or anything different. Did you guys notice?
No, not last night.
I can't notice anything because I spend every race repairing 7 minutes of damage.
I was gonna say in NASCAR, you wouldn't have marbles anymore. It's freaking dust.
Well, I mean, in the game, you still get some marbles. I mean, I saw them at Phoenix, but we didn't have the build yet. But I didn't really see anything last night. I mean, I saw guys weaving. What they were doing, I don't know. I would anticipate if you are picking up stuff and you weave, you should be able to hear it come off the tires, just like you would when you pick up gravel. But I guess we're just gonna have to get to the right track where we get enough rubber built up.
Martinsville, Bristol.
I would say maybe Martinsville. Yeah, but I don't know. We don't run enough laps under green to make marbles at Martinsville.
Man,
NASCAR O'Reilly
NIS
Series.
is just getting shots.
O'Reilly Series drafting updates. That's nice. AI racing feature, simulating AI opponent qualifying and final results. Rendering improvements for mirrors. Rain racing for 4 more vehicles.
I'd already seen some complaints on the forums that the drafting performance for the O'Reilly series, they've ruined all that too. So, but I haven't done any of it yet.
How come every time a draft thing comes out, it's ruined?
Because we have a user base that's very familiar with drafting and stuff like that on a game, not in real life. So I'll defer to iRacing probably.
Hey, they have the cup car absolutely correct. It sucks in real life and in the sim.
See, extremely realistic.
They have some items under race control, David. What is this? What is this mystery? Oh, no, it's the connection black flag system has received some updates. Lone qualifying is disabled once the checkered flag is thrown. Fred the Wheelman will use the inside lane when
Well,
in
yeah.
the pace
So
car.
let's talk about Fred. Last night at Las Vegas, every time under the caution lap, when we got to the tri-oval, he drove like 12 feet onto the apron and then came back up onto the racing surface. So Fred is obviously still drunk or confused where he's going.
They broke Fred?
They really need. We have this happen several times. There's too many times with the pace car. I know they're supposedly overhauling race control, but this is something I don't understand why they couldn't go ahead and fix. We ran the majors last weekend, right? Was it last weekend or the weekend before?
You can
The mech
Last weekend.
last weekend.
Mech was last weekend. One of a lot of it went really well. We didn't have a great personal race, but they've gotten a lot of things smoothed over. But one of the things that they do is the pace car comes out when the leader is coming around the line, the final corner. It doesn't just start a drag race with everybody. And in LA, or not LA, Vegas, sometimes we'd have to race for half a lap depending on when the caution comes out. Sometimes we'd have to slam on the brakes and basically come to a stop and let the pace car come by. Make the pace car come out when the leader's in turn 4. And that will actually fix a lot of other problems too, with people being able to get lined up to go into the pits.
I think if it was that easy, it'd be fixed, which obviously they probably can't.
I think they just want it to come out as quick as possible to make the caution faster. I don't think they want to fix it.
So there's a couple updates in the iRacing sporting code. I just want to read these out. Encourage using offline AI racing for showcasing iRacing to visiting friends.
What?
So
You mean when I have somebody can't come over, I just can't throw them into a race? What are you talking about? That's like the best way to learn.
but what about the Carb Cup? It's unofficial. I mean, okay, and then clarified that any type of team members may only be registered for a single team for a single time slot.
I didn't think you could be I didn't think you could be registered for two teams in the same
Oh
time.
wait, didn't Tom just run on two 24-hour teams?
At different time slots. Which one are you reading was changed?
The second iRacing sporting code. It says you can only be registered for a single team for a single time slot.
Yeah, Tom did not do. He was registered in separate time slots. We started
Oh, I see.
at 2 a.m. That's why our time we finished 6 hours earlier than the GT3 team. I didn't see anything special in the cars other than what we specifically talked about. It was just a lot of updates. All right. Which one is real, Mike?
Well, Daniel Morad puts up a side-by-side, or actually one on the bottom, one on the top video of him, in real life and him in the sim, and he challenges you to, tell, hey, which one's the real one, the top or the bottom? What do you guys think?
The clouds on the top don't look real.
Yeah, but the top is the real one.
Well, they still don't look real.
Yeah, he raced this past weekend at Sebring in the Porsche America P Cup. So it's an endurance race. So yeah, it was. I watched a few minutes of it. The coverage was not great, but yeah, it's pretty neat. This Sebring version here he's got is not the updated one that we got with the build.
So the camera work on the bottom one, Brad, seems more wobbly, more movement going on. Uh, is this attributed to his motion system, I presume? And you got to
Yeah.
wonder, is that too much motion based on just what I just saw?
Well, he's
It's
in motion, and I think he's probably got a GoPro. I think he has a GoPro on his head, is what he's doing.
also, Mike, he's in motion on a solid floor on pistons. So going, he doesn't have a rubber tires that are absorbing some of it as well.
Yeah, it definitely looks smoother on the real world shot.
All right, Greg, you got the you've got the Spanish speaking family. Can you translate the next one for us? I got most of the words except I don't know what abasar is.
I don't even. Why you gotta put me at this? My wife. I could bring my wife down and she might figure it out, but I don't think she'd want to.
So look, I had to translate it, and basically he shows off a feature in the settings of the UI. You can go in there and turn this flag on, where when you hit join a session, you don't have to wait 30 seconds and for the green button to come up and then click the green button at the top. It will automatically launch the sim, so you don't have to hit that final button.
Yeah, that was released like 2 builds ago.
I didn't know about that. I thought it was pretty cool, but I don't like it to launch. Sometimes I like to register and then I'll wait 10 minutes and then I'll launch.
All right, Brad, you were excited about this one that you posted earlier. DTM series is coming to iRacing.
Yeah, well, just kind of out of the blue. Didn't see this one coming at all. But yeah, we had an announcement today from iRacing. So iRacing and DTM are pleased to announce the all-new iRacing DTM series for the 2026 season. So this will align with the real-world DTM calendar. They're going to run midweek before each race. So it's going to be somewhat of an NIS style. One race, I guess. Well, I guess you could have a few depending on the time slots. But they're yeah, so this is all GT3 cars. So I don't know, I guess maybe 3 or 4 years ago DTM moved to the same GT3 homologation that's being used around the world, which has really just caused GT3 racing to explode since you've got so many platforms that could be driven everywhere. So this starts April 23rd. It's going to consist of 2, 4, 6, 8 races from April to October. These will be 55-minute time races that'll match the real world series using the same cars. And you'll also have pit strategy will be introduced as well. So, and looks like I'm guessing where we currently have, you've got the IMSA branding. You've got the GT World Challenge branding. I guess we'll have DTM branding as well. Will be available. So yeah, pretty neat. I mean, look, this is the GT3 class is probably the most popular class of racing on the service, just because of the worldwide reach of it. And I think it'll be good. You know, it's going to be very somewhat specific tracks. These aren't going to be bouncing all over to the U.S. and stuff like that. It's going to be very, series specific. And I mean, we've got a good chunk of the races. I know there's some other ones, some street courses and stuff that we don't have. So I'd be interested. Maybe this will open up the door to get some more tracks on the service.
So shows you how much I know. I thought DTM was some other car
It used to
that
be.
was not a GT3.
It used to be like
Yeah,
because it used to be the
German.
Mercedes and
Yeah, it was a German touring car series.
Audi and stuff like that.
It was similar to back in the day, yeah, the British touring car. It was similar platforms, but wasn't anything, I mean, similar to what is now
They
GT3.
used
But
to
again,
didn't they used to race like Volvos and stuff in that too?
yep, yes, sir.
Bring it on. I like it. The more the merrier. And it's cool that they realized DTM, hey, we want to be involved in iRacing. We want to put our stamp on it too. So it's cool. All are welcome.
So the title of the next item, Brad, are you trying to say Podium 1 rigs are expensive?
Do I need to even say Podium 1 rigs are expensive? Yeah, so we got a Instagram post here from Podium 1 and from Builds Official. So this is one of Builds Your Own Simulator. Then do we have a treat for you? Says we teamed up with the Builds Official to create our exclusive building block kit. It perfectly replicates the P1 triple screen simulator. So complete with all the must-have accessories. So it's like a little Lego kit, basically, where you can build a copy of the Podium 1 simulator. Not sure how much it is. I'm sure it's probably more expensive than what I'm expecting it to be, but could probably afford it.
Legos are not cheap.
No, they're not. But it's pretty neat. I mean, that would look kind of cool sitting somewhere. Think about it. And that's one of those things that I think would kind of probably look pretty neat somewhere in your sim room.
Exactly. Look, even if I don't own a Podium 1 rig specifically, it's very similar to what we do and what we have. And so just to have it, maybe put it on your desk, or show it off somewhere. Yeah, I like it. Maybe a Christmas present for somebody special who's not in sim racing, just to kind of rub it in a little bit. Give it to your wife. Like, isn't this the perfect gift for your wife, Brad?
No, I was just thinking you could put it in your dollhouse in your dining room in the dollhouse.
Perfect. There you go, Greg. The girls will love it.
For the kids.
Yeah, I'm not sure the wife would be too happy with that.
I think you should surprise her with it. If she's not watching today, I think you should surprise her with one.
Now, to back up to the original question David presented about is Podium 1 expensive? When we were at the Sim Gaming Expo, they had maybe 5 or 6 rigs lined up. How many of those 5 or 6 were over the price of $100,000?
2?
All of them. Yeah.
Were they all?
Well, four of them I think were. Yeah, they're not cheap, guys. But we're talking about the crazy motion ones, like Driven Dynamics.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking.
But it was cheap to
Cubic.
enter Hocevar's event last night. If you didn't want to run NIS instead, you want to tell us about that one, Mike?
Yeah, I was trying to get Justin Pearson, our teammate, to jump in here and maybe try to win the money because he's good at these hosted money events. But yeah, Carson Hocevar has got a sponsor. It's called Spectrum. And anyway, his Spectrum sponsorship allows him on his off nights to go on iRacing, put up a hosted room, and present a $2,500 prize pool, free to enter. It was trophy trucks on an oval. And pretty crazy. What do you guys think?
I wish I'd run it instead of NIS.
You would have spent less time on pit road.
Yeah. So For our listeners, the expo series looks like we got the Jumpy Trucks racing at Phoenix, I think. So
Old Phoenix.
yeah, old Phoenix. So yeah, using vehicles on tracks not intended for. So I'm sure that was a little bit
Same
of fun. So,
paints.
yeah, it was all Spectrum. So I think we had a post a week or so. Last show maybe was Michael McDowell was in one of these and stuff like that. So it was some other drivers in there as well.
Now, Spectrum, it's an internet company, right, in the States?
Yeah, cable company.
Is it a big company?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're dying though. I mean, all the cable companies are slowly dwindling away.
So, but they sponsor him in the Cup Series as well.
Yeah.
So the IMSA Global Esports Championship schedule is out, but I think what they're going to do is roll the dice about an hour before the race time and pick which track they're going to go at.
Well, they had a fan vote one time, didn't they? Yeah.
Well, I say that because there's there's no tracks listed on the schedule.
Well,
No.
look, I'll throw it out to IMSA. Sorry, Brad. Look, I appreciate them proactively getting this information out in a very timely manner. We're talking about next fall, September, October, November. They know their dates, they publish them. Hey, they're out there. They might have not have set the tracks yet, but at least we have the dates out there. I'm a little critical of iRacing. You know, it's the week of the Daytona 500, and they haven't even announced it until like 3 or 4 days before.
Well, so in defense of IMSA, this is kind of common. So Sebring is next weekend, and at Sebring, we will actually get the 2027 IMSA calendar. So that's what they've done the last few years. The second race of the year, they've announced the 2020, the following year's calendar. So this kind of makes sense. We don't have the dates, we don't have the tracks yet, but at least now we know what days they're going to run. And look, this always runs during the fall, has for the last few years. So and I think 5 races this year. I think we only had 4 last year, if memory serves me. So it looks like we picked up an extra race.
What's the likelihood of Max Verstappen maybe being in a 2027 IMSA race?
I think he'd probably be a world.
It would be
endurance
the
first.
WEC.
Yeah, I think he'd probably do WEC first. I mean, I'm sure he wants to do Daytona. I don't see why not. So I don't know. You know, well, we won't go down that road.
Don't get me started with Max.
Come on.
All right, we got some Sim Gaming Expo announcements. 2026 tickets are now available. The convention is the 18th through the 20th of September at the Schaumburg Convention Center in Schaumburg, Illinois. Get your tickets now, and I'll get back to y'all soon with a promo code. We can get one for the to get you a discount.
Now, I remember correctly when we were there last year, was they not building a go-kart track next door or part of the thing?
Andretti, yeah.
Andretti.
Do you think is it done? Will it be done for September?
It is, yes.
Okay, cool, sweet.
You don't
So
think it'll be
long-
booked up?
I don't know. So we are starting to get some announcements for vendors or for exhibitors, rather. So we did get the first 2. First one is the Stint Link. So if you're into iRace endurance racing, this is one for you. Stint Link is the ultimate enduro planning tool. And then we've also got Dark Fusion Systems will be there again. They were there last year. So it's a creative technologies company delivering bespoke hardware and creative services for businesses and individuals based out of Milwaukee. So that's a return exhibitor. Like I said, they were there last year. So I anticipate that these will just continue to kind of start to come out. That's what, if you remember from last year, we had a spell there where it was, I mean, it got to the point where it was almost weekly. Somebody, new exhibitor, new hardware, one of the companies is going to be there and whatnot. So I know
Influencers.
yep. So George has secured a larger space this year. So I think probably close to double the size of last year, which is fantastic. So we're looking forward to it. If you go to the website or you go to the Discord, you can get a link to the discounted hotel rooms. So you can stay there right there at the convention center as well. So we will be there. It's going to be another fun time. So look forward to seeing listeners.
I hope we can get the same type of spot that we did last year too.
We got to move early here. We got to get coordinated.
Mr. Hall's working on it, so.
Yeah, I dropped a layout. We're gonna forego the couch because nobody used the couch last time, and instead set up 2 tables and make it more of a, even more kind of actually more loungy than living roomy.
People came for the candy. They didn't come to sit
Well,
on the couch.
what really happened at the show was we are all standing around talking. Is what happened. We would end up in the booth. There was a tall table, but most of the time there were just casual conversations happening.
That's what we do. We talk about iRacing in a casual conversation.
Right. We'll do it live with you. You have to just show up there at Chicago and show up and come talk to us. So another announcement that we don't have on the script, AJ Stevens, who's a set builder for Premiere, has booked with Sim Gaming Expo as a special guest, apparently. So we'll meet AJ in person. That'll be cool.
All right, we also have the Sim Racing Expo in Charlotte. This is going to be, I think Brad's going. I think he's the only one who's really close.
I think Williams planning to go as well. So, but yeah,
The Virginia boys.
Well, Williams in Georgia, so he'll be coming north, and I'll be going south. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Didn't see anything this week as far as new exhibitors or anything, so we'll try to keep everybody up to date as we quickly approach. That's, I guess, a little bit more than what, almost 2 months away. So
I'm going to jump ahead a little, but Moza announced a big product, their motion rig this week. And Brad, I'm sure it's going to be at the Sim Racing Expo in Charlotte. If there's one thing that I want you to do while you're there, I want you to test that baby.
alrighty. I plan to have a full lengthy review after the show. So, 'cause I'm sure there'll be some stuff there that's we haven't seen yet. So,
I guess we'll dive deeper into that discussion when we get to it. Let's talk events. NEC 2026. That's the Nürburgring Endurance Championship. So this is a series of races, all the same classes each time. It looks like GT3, Porsche Cup, GT4, TCR, and the M2 CSR. So, and it's a series of races. Some of them 4 hours, one of them 6 hours.
I just don't know how. Like I said, I do 3 laps and I'm just dropping out of the seat.
all right, then we've got the 2026 Sebring 12 hours powered by VCO. So this will be starting the weekend of March 27th through the 29th. 12-hour slot. So we're going to have the normal 4 starts. 2200 Friday GMT, 7 GMT Saturday, 12 GMT Saturday, and then 1600 GMT Saturday. So this will be traditional IMSA classes, GTPs, LMP2s, and the GTD classes. So this is a fun one. It's going to start in the day, and then we'll end at night. And looks like we've got.
How about the poster? Man.
Yeah, the poster's great.
I like the airport in the background. Are we fielding cars?
No, I'm same guys that we ran Daytona with. So myself, the Williams, and then one of the other guys from Grassroots Racing, Jacob. I know the 4 of us are planning to do it again.
David?
Yeah, I mean, we have a sign-up sheet that we use to keep track of that. And yeah, me, Kyle, and Tom are running a GTP.
It's my weekend off.
But we can throw you in if you'd like. So yeah, if you're interested, we'll add you. No problem.
Sounds good.
Another event we've got on here is so when iRacing released the 2026 special events calendar, there was the IMSA 5 Road America 500, so which is the IMSA Classic cars. That has now been renamed. So we had a post from Greg West So just want to share a quick update regarding the special event calendar in partnership with IMSA. We've had the opportunity to introduce the IMSA Classic 500 as an official iRacing special event this season. As a result, the event previously listed as the Road America 500 will now become the IMSA Classic 500. And will be held at the WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca. So I think the last couple of years they've done this at Road America. Cars and overall event information and all that stuff remain the same. So there'll be some more information as we get closer to it. So just a name change, and I guess I don't know if they had planned to do it at Laguna Seca. No, they didn't. It was originally Road America. So name change and track change.
I started saying it would be funny if you ran the Road America 500 at Laguna Seca.
Yeah. So I'm wondering. I guess I need to see when is that on the schedule, because I wonder if that's going to coincide with maybe us getting the rescan for Laguna, because if you remember, the whole hubbub about that was going away from being a free track, because I guess the speculation was that they were going to get a rescan of it.
Oh yeah, and it maybe had to be paid because the track needs a cut or something.
Yep.
It's in a month, April 10th and 11th.
All right, we'll scratch that. That's not happening then. Never mind. Conspiracy theorists, go away.
All right, and then this week in iRacing, Brad, week 13, right?
Yep, it's week 13. Sorry, a little behind here. At the NIS series is at Las Vegas. Grand Prix Tour is in series this week as well. But then we did with week 13, we did talk last week that they have released they've done a few more ranked series this week 13. So you can find out a little bit about that in the blog post.
Podcast housekeeping. Leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform to make it easier for more listeners to find the podcast. Mention the podcast to your fellow drivers so they don't miss out. We would appreciate it. Check out our Discord and get involved in the discussion. There's a lot of talk going on over there, guys, about these products and the hardware stuff. And then our script at iRacersLounge.com is a wealth of information if you want to learn about sim racing. So check it out. Performance Motorsports Network, we're in regular rotation, and get your merchandise at iRacersLounge.shop.
On the fantasy, I see one teammate in the top 10.
Greg.
Yep. So Cup Series rolled into Phoenix last week. What a rough weekend for fantasy. And for me personally, it was all courtesy of the 22 car. He literally wiped out my entire fantasy team with
Came in
exception.
like a wrecking ball.
And one caution.
And between the two cautions he caused, he took out all my drivers except for one. So I think I scored like 40 points or something. It was absolutely horrible. It was bad. So coming away with the win, we had Equip Flame Rouge. Tied for second was Kalen and Z1F. Fourth was JTC 11C, and then tied for fifth we had Cletus 45, and then Redneck Racer 80. So yeah, shout out to Frozen Cactus. They were there in 10th place. So Phoenix was completely different this year.
The winner might actually be a French listener or maybe French Canadian, because that's actually Equipe Flamme Rouge, which means Team Red Flame.
So what's different though, Brad? More power, right? So
yeah,
more
we had
braking.
more horsepower. Same tires that we ran last fall. If you remember the spring race last year, they had the option tire, and then we went back in the fall. They just ran the straight option tire. No different types of tires where we had like they did the spring. So yeah, I think that short track package, so less rear diffuser or there's a smaller rear diffuser, but a lot smaller.
Aren't they just they're straight out kind of like they're not as defined? Yeah,
I mean, look, I think we saw it on iRacing. A lot more brake getting into one. As opposed to years past, you really had to trail brake through there and use the brake to get the car to turn. It's not quite like it used to be where you can kind of stab it. Gearing wise, for me, it was an extra shift. Typically, I would run the backstretch in fourth, but couldn't do that, I guess, with the extra horsepower. But
On the long run, you can run it.
you could, yeah, once you finally lost enough grip. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get any long runs in there. So, but
We'll talk about long runs and results.
yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, look, it's probably one of the better Phoenix races that we've had in some time. But I mean, a lot of that was driven by some of the chaos that we saw. But yeah, so Blaney was just he's good at the flat tracks. Just
Was invested watching it this time. Look, I this year with the new points and everything, I'm just more invested than I have been in the past, and that final call for pit. Do you take tires? Do you take two? Do you take none? It was such a big decision, and I'm like, four is the answer. And then Christopher Bell takes four. I'm like, dude, he just won the race. And then he didn't. And I was like, damn.
But he might have if that additional caution had not come out. He might
Right.
have
If he had one more lap or one less caution, he would have won it.
And then NASCAR running laps off the board. But yeah, it's because the problem is he comes in and takes two, then other guys take four, and it's either way. It's either way. You're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't.
It's still the right call. I say it today, but he still lost, like Brad said.
yeah. So Cup Series will roll into Las Vegas this coming weekend. I think one of the better mile and a half that we got on the schedule. I actually get a good idea of what how the teams are stacking up. You know, last week starting and then this week we're kind of getting to the meat of the schedule and what the bulk of the season is outside of two drafting tracks and a super speedway. I mean, and a road course.
Now, to be clear, because it's Vegas, a mile and a half, there is no change from last year, right?
Correct. So same package as last year. No extra horsepower. Normal package. But Vegas has put on some good racing. I think. So I expect Larson to probably be good. Hendrick should usually be good here. They typically have not been very good at Phoenix. So I think we'll get a good idea of what Chevy's got as far as the bodies go.
And then shame on Hendrick for taking out the sim driver out of the 88 or the 48, I mean, and putting in Allgaier. Yeah, he ain't no better.
Yeah, I don't completely understand that. I would have thought, Alfredo he's technically the sim driver and he's the reserve driver. So it's kind of curious there, but I don't know. Who knows, man? Hendrick does weird things anyway. It's in the first time they've done odd things when it comes to putting people in cars to fill in. So we'll see. So as we roll out of Phoenix, looking at overall points, we've got Race Addict in the lead. Second is by B Jonas 71. Third is Penguin Racing. Fourth, Connor Truman. And then fifth is Redneck Racer 80.
All right, we're going to open up hardware with the 21R P1X. It's a formula wheel. It's got a display. It looks pretty standard. It's got 3 knobs in the middle, 4 thumb knobs, and 2 8-way switches, and at least 2 paddles on the back.
Yeah, this is a company called 21 Performance out of the UK, a custom built wheel. I like it's not busy, it's got the 4 push buttons on either side for the thumb. You got the rotary right there. Everything is real close. And then you got these 3, it looks like multi-use knobs in the middle with bright colors and stuff. A small display. He is partnered with Daniel Newman Racing for the wheel. Yeah, I like it.
Based on what I see, I think the LEDs on those knobs in the middle are probably dynamic, meaning because you'll notice that it's just got one that's red in the middle, and I bet money that the numbers on the 12 direction knobs probably also can brighten or darken. depending on what you're set to.
Yeah, so as you rotate it, it's going to change from the blue to the red for whatever the setting it is. So that's something that you can do on some of these wheels now. So they're currently sold out. Do not know what the price is on that. Since it's sold out, there's no price listed. But looking at, they also have the 21R-P2X, which is a GT style wheel, no screen. That's about 1,100 US dollars. So probably going to be somewhere that I'm guessing maybe 15 to $1,800, something like that.
Wow, this next one really catches my eye, though.
Yeah, the question is it worth it? We've got a video from Dan Suzuki.
Yeah, his title video shows a up close personal picture of it, which blows me away. But he also points out it's 2,164 euros.
Wow.
It reminds me of the Sim Lab Mercedes, Lewis Hamilton Formula One wheel. Is kind of in that price range. Is this as good as that? It might be. I mean, and you got to remember, Bavarian SimTech is the first real big wheel manufacturer that's fully integrated with the SimiCube 3 with their new light bridge.
What do you think of the weight?
Well, it's pretty heavy at 1317 without the quick release. 300 millimeters the right size for me. I don't know. The buttons at the bottom middle look so sleek, totally different style than the one we just saw above, which had a similar layout. But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the layout, and it's got a lot more knobs, I guess, that you can thumb knobs, I guess is what you would call those. Rotary thumb rotaries.
Thumb rotaries.
Yeah, thumb rotaries. They they all look really easy to get to. The ones that on my Fanatec are pretty useless because whenever I'm steering, if my hand actually, if I'm in a deep turn, I can actually hit it with the inside of my hand. So it's a nice layout. Expensive.
Yeah, Dan concludes the Omega Pro V2 is a statement piece for enthusiasts. While there's no rational justification for the price compared to cheaper capable wheels, it delivers a sense of exclusivity and motorsport DNA that makes it worth it for those with the budget for high-end luxury gear.
So doesn't that statement just basically summarize sim racing as a whole? There's no rational justification.
It's
But we
true.
still do it anyways.
All right. Well, we're talking all the time about motion, but what about this new haptic seat, Brad?
Yeah, we got a video here from SimPit Sean Cole reviewing the ES1 haptic seat. This is by Next Level Racing. So this is a fixed back racing seat that has 8 haptic motors integrated directly into the shell. It's priced at about $600. It aims to provide kind of a high quality mid-range haptic solution for sim racers. So some of the key features, integrated designs, unlike your pads that are strapped into the existing seats, these are actually, the motors are embedded in the shell. So it maintains the seat's geometry. Nothing's going to be shifting around or anything. As far as construction, seats just a single piece of molded design. So connectivity supports both USB telemetry and 3.5 audio input. Performance tuning, immersion versus performance. Seat provides immediate physical feedback for things like engine vibration, gear shifts, curbs. But crucially, it helps with performance by signaling brake lockups and traction loss through your body. Software uses Next Level Racing's HFS software, so independent control over all 8 of the zones. Excuse me. Volume control, dedicated physical volume knob is on the side of the seat as well. So some of the pros and cons, as Sean typically does, the good and the not so good. So no geometry changes as far as the good. compared to the pads. Again, everything's going to kind of stay where it is. You get 8 zones, so nice strong left and right, front, rear, and then lower latency via USB, as opposed to having to buy a seat in the pad separately. Not so good messy cable management due to multiple power and data leads. That would probably drive me bat crap crazy. You'd think that you'd have everything kind of cycled down into either one bundle or something to come out of it. The other thing is you're locked into that seat. It's not modular, so if that's the seat you're going with, that's what you're stuck. And then lower output ceiling, than rather some of the high end ultra or high end custom haptic solutions. So final verdict, the ES1 haptics described as a balanced, high value option for those starting a new build. While it isn't as aggressive as a full motion rig or $1,500 plus custom haptic seat, it does deliver a massive immersion boost and then genuine performance benefits. So yeah, I don't know about the whole haptic seat thing. I have one haptic on the bottom of my seat. I have everything else in the 4 corners of the rig. I'm just not sure, not sure what I'm going to get having everything up on my back and my butt as opposed to having it at the corners of the rig, if that makes sense.
Do you find yourself getting just immersion from the 4 corners, or real driving data from the 4 corners versus just like say a single heavy duty?
I think it's both. There's immersion, but I think I can, I feel like if I hit a rumble strip, I can feel it just on the left side or just on the right side. Like going through the dog leg at Phoenix, you can feel the car hit. And at times, yeah, sometimes I think you actually can kind of feel if this car starts to get a little upset. So I do think overall, has it made me faster? No, but when I try to race without it, I've lost just another sense that I've gotten used to, if that makes sense.
I don't know if it doesn't make you a little bit faster. I know when I went to qualify for our Sebring race in Mech, I didn't realize there must have been a power outage, so my butt kicker did not turn back on. I went out to turn the qualifying laps, and it would it it was I was missing every corner because I didn't have the butt kicker on, and I mean, so it was literally affecting my sense of timing, I guess, my brake marks.
Well, you get
And
used to it. Yeah.
yeah, I was missing turn one terribly, as well as well as Sunset, because those are places where I drive it on the edge, and I can feel the tires start to slip and just pull up on the gas just a little.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've added the Sim Magic um, haptic to my brake pedal. So I didn't think I needed to feel as far as the um, when I got into ABS, but that's really become super integral, believe it or not, to where that makes it's just a lot able to drive a lot deeper into the corner. And then if once I do get on the ABS, actually get off of it quicker, as opposed to just looking at the lights and not having that haptic feedback at all.
For me, I mean, the best way to do haptics is to have a proper race seat and just bolt those babies right onto the seat like I did. I have one bolted right under my butt, and it couldn't be closer.
Yeah, I mean, mine's actually I screwed through the seat and it's bolted there. I mean, it's on the
Yes.
bottom of the seat.
Works well. It works very well doing that. Yes.
All right, Greg, do you think this next rig was taken out of an Avengers movie?
I'm not an Avengers fan, but uh, was it Track Times official page posted a series one, their series one. Um, they've listed reasons. It's just a basic 80-20 in black here, is it not yet? Is that 80-20? Yeah.
It's poorly designed 80/20, I think.
Well, diagonal uprights I'm not a fan of that. And then the whole color thing, I mean, I kind of like the color thing, but then I remember I put these little blue plastic things in my little troughs, and they're always coming out and they're peeling out, and I have to push them back in. And would this thing be the same way? Is that just like plastic and it's
Well,
gonna?
it's clean. It's clean. It's what they call it is clean integrated cable management with, I guess, RGB lighting.
Oh,
Yeah, so the orange that you see there, that's the optional RGB lighting.
I see.
But this is throwing away almost all the advantages that you normally get from 80/20. The positioning of the uprights is locked. You can't change it. The angle is locked. The height basically looks like it's locked. So this is a do not recommend for me.
There's the back end. There's nowhere to screw anything on the back end of it at all.
Well, there's also the way that they mount the screen is kind of weird with the arms too. Like it's not a clean design.
Interesting. 800 euros.
All right, we have a button box that is fully customizable. Tell us about this one, Mike.
Well, Sim Racing PC puts up that it's a DIY project, a fully customizable mini button box. It shows a video here. It's a push button and a scroll at the same time kind of wheel, and it's got a small display that kind of a carbon fiber front. I don't know, what would you use this for?
You would only use this for out of cockpit experiences. You would not be doing this changing. This is what you do to change your settings on the wheel. Like this reminds me of what you used to have to do to Fanatec wheels, with the way that they're changing all this stuff on it. But you wouldn't use that, and you get lost in the menus, and that's why you'd be wrecking all the time.
Exactly. That's the first thing I was thinking. Thank you, Greg. I'm watching the little video and I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to imagine myself with about 180 miles an hour trying to make a pit stop adjustment with this, going click, turn, oh, nope, that's not it. Click, click, oh, you know, and then you're in the woods.
So yeah, this would just really only be useful outside the car. I mean, completely. And you're exactly right. It is like when you're changing settings, when you're programming all of the force feedback settings on the Fanatec.
Yeah, so it's a DIY project available for free on the website via Maker World.
All right, Brad, the question is, has this video changed your mind?
No. So, we got a video here from Track Racer. This one is about, what was this? This is about 8-10 minutes or so. Should you upgrade from the SemiCube 2 to the SemiCube 3? As far as physical design, mounting, aesthetics, you know, we all would agree. I think the SemiCube 3 kind of maintains, you know, it does have, looks a little bit better. It's a little bit cleaner, a little bit rounded, you know, it is, I guess, a little bit better looking. From cable management side, the back of the SemiCube 3 significantly cleaner, features very minimalistic, triple setup for cables. I will agree with that, but I don't see the back of my my wheel base, so that's no big deal. Mounting options, both support front mounting, but SemiCube 3 does introduce bottom mounting. I'm not a fan of bottom mounting. I don't know why anybody would want to bottom mount a base. I think the best way to mount your base is a front mount. I think that is the perfect way to mount it.
I feel attacked.
I'm just telling you. I just
don't have the proper one for it. That's why.
Right. I just think that's the best way to mount it. So the light bridge technology, you know, that's the biggest addition to the SemiCube 3. Again, we've had this discussion on and on, and I think it's going to be a discussion that's going to be had for quite a while, just in the community and in the industry. Is light bridge the way to go, or is USB pass through still the way to go? Performance force feedback, like we've talked at the other videos we've talked, you know, we've gone through the torque range. You know, the Newton meters is similar. Again, with the SemiCube 3, a little more clarity, a little crisper, a little bit better, you know, quality feedback, a new motor design, and you know, and whatnot. The emergency stop dial is a little bit different. So not only do you get the e-stop, but you can also actually make adjustments on the fly to the amount of force feedback in the wheel. The SemiCube 3 tuner. So while, yes, the SemiCube 2 is running through tuner, you get more options with the 3 versus that. But then again, the biggest thing is pricing. You know, a SemiCube 3 Pro, you're looking at about $1,600, which is about $400 more than the SemiCube 2 Pro. So no, I'm very happy with my SemiCube 2. You know, there's still discussion about some of the stuff that's been released for the 3, you know, the telemetry feedback, stuff like that. They're still working to get that available for the 2. So no,
I forgot about that.
yeah, yeah. I haven't been on their Discord in a while, but yeah, my understanding is you're still working on that. But yeah, no, I mean, again, look, if if you did not own a SemiCube 2 and you wanted to upgrade to a very high-end direct drive unit,
Pick the 3.
pick the 3. That makes perfect sense. I see no reason. If you're in a 2, I just don't see the reason to go to 3. But I can tell you right now, plenty of people have done it. SemiCube 2s, you can pick up pretty quick, pretty cheap. You know, if you look around on some of the marketplaces and stuff like that. And but yeah, I'm very happy with my 2. I have no intention of doing anything anytime soon.
I know one guy who went from the 2 to the 3, Osa, a guy we met at the expo, who has a YouTube channel. It was the guy who flew in his plane to pick up a Formula wheel off Facebook Marketplace, that guy. So he moved from the 2 to the 3. I don't know of anyone else who has, but look, yeah, if you have the 2, you don't need to go to the 3. And wait for this firmware update where they're going to add in the telemetry feedback to the SemiCube 2. I think that will further define this discussion, Brad. Like when we get that, then how far away are we from the SemiCube 3? We probably won't be too far.
No, I mean, again, I think new motor, you know, there's some refinement in that. And I mean, look, it's just the way it is. I mean, I could tell you, like, you know, I had the SimMagic Alpha, which was their original one. Now you got the Evo. The Evo's, it's a much smoother wheel. I don't disagree there. Do you really feel that? Maybe. You know, the whole reason I went from the SimMagic um, Alpha at 15 newton meters to the SemiCube 2 Pro was I wanted more headroom. So that's strictly, it's the only reason why I did it. I wanted more headroom. I wanted to run the wheel stronger, have less clipping, and I wanted the additional headroom that you get with the SemiCube 2 Pro that I didn't get with the SimMagic Alpha.
Brad, with the just looking at the picture there, do all you have a couple rims for yours, right?
Yeah, I've got 3.
Is it a pin that goes into those pads then? Like they touch it, it's pins that are on the back of it?
No, so I mean, as far as the quick release goes, you know, the quick release slides in, and there's a pin that holds the
But
quick release.
the data point they're pins on inside that thing, right? Or what is it? Or is
Yeah.
it okay?
Yeah. So think about it's a 6-pin, very similar to your connection off your like your GPU into your computer to your motherboard.
Yeah, okay.
Very similar connection.
Okay.
Next up, we have a series of relatively affordable oval rims that come in quite a few different options, from leather, perforated leather, suede, and even wooden. However, I've been looking on the site and I can't find a size of what they are.
Yeah, I found this. They advertised to me. GripRoyal.com is a unique steering wheel company for obviously real race cars and real cars. I don't think they're really related to sim products, but as we all know, pretty easy to take a real steering wheel and bolt it on. And these have some neat ones. I mean, their front page right at the top got this cool pink and uh, yellow and black kind of wheel with a bunch of lettering on it and stuff. It looks pretty sleek. And so it really caught my eye. You know, they got that rubberized version, like you said, wood, all these different options. So yeah, if you're looking for something unique, yeah, check them out.
They look like they're 13, 14 inch wheels.
Yeah. So if you click on like one of them, then when you go to their page under the specs, it'll tell you what the wheel diameter is. So, yeah, no, look, this is a great option to if you're just looking for a wheel, or if you want to get it to match with a button box, or I mean, these are all. They're looks like most of them are probably going to be a 6-bolt 70 millimeter pattern. So most of your quick releases are either a 50 or a 70 that you can buy. So yeah, it's just don't always think that you have to buy something, from Sim Magic or from SimiCube or whoever. You can go the route and do something like this as a nice change. Or again, if you're just looking for a certain look, there you go.
You get one for your
Look,
Lotus 49. You get a wooden one.
yeah, that's what I was just about to say, Greg. Get a wood one with the gold on it. The golden spokes with the nice shiny wood. It's $200. It's called Fortune, and bolt that on for the Lotus 49.
I'm kind of actually the one that catches my eyes. It's showing I think it's the ad here, the Chase Bays one. That one looks like a sick. That looks really sick.
It does.
All right, next is a neat little utility that those of you who use DDUs might like. It's basically a kind of a snap-on boom stand for DDUs or displays, right?
Oh, this is from Printed Sim Racing. So it's they call it the SnapLink Orbit Arm. You can really kind of use it for whatever you want to use it for. You got anything you want to mount onto the rig. I mean, you can do a DDU. You can mount a Stream Deck.
Stream Deck.
Yep, whatever you want to do. It's interesting. I mean, it's got an adjustable arm. It depends on what your setup, what your rig is. I mean, I get it, attaching it to the upright and then doing it that way. But I've took Mike's suggestion, and I went down the RAM mount rabbit hole on Amazon and found some very cheap ones, which are fantastic. And that's what my stuff is all mounted using. My Stream Deck is using those. I have my phone charger doing that. I have my flag box that's mounted with one of those. So, I mean, all kinds of stuff. Sometimes you just got to kind of think outside the box when it comes to these. But this is neat. I mean, if you're looking for something where you need to, like on the video that, where he's got it, he's mounting it on the upright. So he's got this long arm and able to position it where he wants to. So, yeah, I mean, having options to mount stuff. That's the one thing that you get with an 80/20 rig is you have such a surface area to mount whatever you want to mount. That's the beauty of it.
At the end, when he shows the rig like a back shot, he's got 4 or 5 DDUs going across his dash there. Like look, maybe one of a throttle trace, the other is a flag, the other is relative, and he's got a regular dash. I mean, and so the idea is to use these arms to be able to position all these displays where you can see them.
And really not bad. $39. Not bad at all, really, price wise. $39.
I wonder about sturdiness. Does it bounce around?
Yeah, I mean, that would be my only question. It just depends on how tight you can get those pivot points down to where it won't move. And then again, like
it's still on a 18-inch stick. Yeah,
it's the ball area where you would lose eventually it probably would wear out.
Yeah, and then again, my only concern is you got I don't know, so you got an 8-inch rod. How much play are you getting? God, stop it.
So in a matter of about 2 sentences, we went from ball to play to rod.
Sorry, I'm immature. I'll give up. I'm done.
Just for that, you get the next one, Greg.
Yeah, because it's what device does it use to create haptics?
Okay, so Carl Gosling reviewed the Next Level Racing ERS haptic seat. It's a integrated solution combined sim racing seat with built-in vibration motors to enhance immersion. So they're using a dual or I guess it's got a dual reclining use a single reclining seat for it. I haven't watched this video, but
so here's the real question, though. We just reviewed the ES1 Next Level Racing haptic seat, and here's another Next Level Racing haptic seat. This one's called the ERS3. I mean, visually they're different. I mean, this looks like a more of a regular seat,
It's like a
while the
car
other
seat.
one was like a bucket seat kind of thing, like a plastic bucket.
So this is like it reminds me of like a general comfort seat, like where you're not, you're trying to, a general sim racer, maybe one that's not trying to look for crazy, because that other one you're basically in a cocoon there. Like it holds you in on that one from the other one. This one's basically a normal car seat. But so they're using uh, vibrating motors to do the road textures, gear shifts, bumps. I guess.
So what they're doing, I watched the video. So what they're doing, Greg, is they're they're integrated into the seat where you don't feel them when you sit on it. You wouldn't know if the thing wasn't plugged in. You wouldn't know it's a haptic seat. In other words, so it feels like a normal seat when you sit in it. And so Carl liked it, I think.
Does it say if does it have the same problem as the other one with like cords and stuff like that, or is it more simple this one? Is it not as
I don't remember.
Is it not as many haptic points that they're using as the as the Pro one?
So looking
it's
at
just
the
a single cable. Yeah.
It was single cable coming out the back. Looking at the website, but yeah, I mean, look, $500. I'm not a fan of reclining seats. Just I'm not. There's too much give in reclining seats. I don't know if I've seen a good review of any reclining seat for a rig that doesn't have some sort of play in it. So that right there, right off the bat, is a big no for me.
See, I'd rather try the insert that you can put in your own seat, other than these actual seats, because they have an insert version, do they not as well?
They do, yeah. But then you're sitting an inch higher than you're designed your rig to be. If you put one of those things on.
It depends on if you stick it under the seat or in the back.
Well, those are the one that they've got. Next Level has is designed to sit on top of your seat, so you're like sitting on it. That's
it's like a massage pad.
Yeah.
We've also covered some that you can actually put underneath your seat cushions.
Replace the cushion, in other words, right?
No, just literally put them underneath the cushion.
Oh.
I guess the final verdict from Gosling, he recommends the RS3 haptic seat as a great middle ground option, I guess, who want to do plug and play immersion but don't want the complexity of cost of do-it-yourself transducers and setups and full motion rigs.
So, Mike, do you think the Snap Link would hold this next item?
I don't know. It's pretty heavy and big. It's the Stream Deck Plus XL. And if you don't think the XL that I got was big enough, this thing is double the amount of buttons, and it adds a little screen with 6 twist knobs. And so it's like a Stream Deck on steroids. This guy talks about use cases and whatnot and why this might be a good idea. And I like his reasoning. Like, it allows you, for example, to space out your buttons. Leave a row that's blank. You have like this section for tires, a blank row. This section for fuel, a blank row.
Oh, whoa. I paid for those buttons and I want to use them.
And so, yeah, look, if I was buying today, yeah, I might consider it. But yeah, you got to figure out where you're going to put it. How do you mount it? All those kind of problems.
It's huge. It is huge. I can see this if you're doing videos or you're mixing and stuff like that. That makes sense to this thing. I mean, I'm just trying to picture where would you even put that on a rig?
But
it's huge.
But when you can have so many different sub menus too, like, do you really need?
Look, the XL is already big and it's already enough. So I can't imagine it being twice as big. I really can't.
I mean, I've got an MK, which is what, 15 buttons. And I don't, I mean, like Greg says, when you've got sub menus and all that, I don't know I don't see any reason to go anything bigger than this.
Unless you need it for your flight simulator, but they have all those.
Now, if you scroll down, you'll see that SimSport Gadget is already announced he's working on it. He's working on different options for this product where you can mount it, encase it, combine it with other things, all these things that he normally does. So we love SimSport Gadget and looking forward to what he comes up with. And I'll say it the first time I've said it in a couple years, the word Fanatec. Fanatec has already announced a really nice mount for this as well. Oh no, wait, I'm confusing this with the Xeon display, 10-inch display. They have Fanatec has that mount for that.
Yeah, it's a C clamp.
Did they have a mount for the M booster pedal? Or is that wait, somebody else makes that, don't they, Mike?
Well, look, it's needed because this thing is a monster to try to mount, and so there's this website, Focus Sim Racing, who is advertising a Focus Sim Racing M booster mounting plate. This is so needed, and if this was available when I was buying, I might have considered it because I had a hard time trying to mount these things.
Yeah, this is what Moses should have done. This is what I don't understand. This takes the pedal and lets you mount it like you can on anything else. It has all the conventional sizes and everything else. I just again, this is my issue with Moza. That was a fail. The entire mounting design of those pedals is a fail when it comes to an 80/20 rig. And that's what I would probably say 99% of their users are putting them on an 80/20 rig.
Well, you're not going to be running them on a play seat.
But you design a pedal that doesn't fit the standard. I mean, just oh gosh.
Now, tell me what I'm buying when I get this, Brad. I mean, I look at the first picture and you see the full package, but you look at the following pictures, it just shows some kind of mounting plate.
Yeah, it's the plate. So if you look at the mounting plates,
It's the
you've
side
got the four
plates.
holes. Yeah, you got the 4 holes. So you're mounting the
Oh,
pedal
I see.
to
The
this.
brake goes. Oh, brake
Yes.
goes right onto the plate. The plate goes onto the brake thing. Okay.
Yes, and then all the slots on the side allows you to mount it to the 80/20 rig, which it should have had when it came from the
So
factory.
then I don't have to modify my SimLab pedal tray. I can just use. Oh, I think I'm going to buy these. I think I just sold. You just spent my money.
Good. That's what I'm here to do. But again, you shouldn't. This is. No, I'm sorry.
So let me look at the first picture of the two pedals, and I'll tell you how I made this work. You see in the lower left of the picture where the two bolts go into the 80/20 extrusion? I basically took out the farthest bolt, moved the whole thing out, and just held it in with one bolt only.
Mike, do they seriously have the mounting for the wires on the side of those Moza pedals?
Yeah.
Ah, it's such a bad design.
And yet, consider these all warning signs for one of our future discussions. Before we get to that, though, we have an iRacing Steam Deck or Stream Deck plugin. You can tell us a little bit about this one, Greg.
This is off. Is this off our forums page? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Nicholas Lampine. I'm sorry if I screwed your name up there, Nicholas. So I guess there's a plugin that's been built, iRacing Deck. It's got 200 plus controls, so you can. It says you can access, or it gives you one tap access to hundreds of iRacing controls directly from Steam Deck, your Stream Deck, without leaving your cockpit. It covers 8 categories. So display and session, so it gives your incidents, laps, positions, fuels, flags. Then you got your driver's controls, you got audio, black boxes, look directions, car controls, cockpit and interface. So you got force feedback, delta, telemetry, view and cameras, so field of view, replay, things like that. Media, video recording, screenshots, textures, pit service, fuel, tires, compounds, tire wear, car setups, brakes, chassis, aero, engine, fuel, hybrid, And then chat, you got your macros or whispers, replies. Works with Stream Deck Mini, XL, and Stream Deck Plus. It's completely free and open source, not yet in Elgato Marketplace, but installed straightforward via GitHub.
Yeah, so it's on the marketplace now. So this is if you currently have a Stream Deck and you use it for iRacing, you're probably using iRace IT. So it's very similar, a little bit more expanded. I think I've been playing around with this a little bit, with setting up another page, just trying to see how it did. I use a combination of iRace IT and then just doing direct hotkey stuff myself. But this is pretty good. The only thing I had some issues with is trying to get the tires to work right. I couldn't get some of the tire changes to work. So, but it's nice. He's been making some updates to it. Like quite a bit of discussion on the forums. I think we've got another one of these down further in the script that will hit as well, but I don't believe that one is free. But yeah, give this one a look. A little bit cleaner, a little more up to date than iRace IT, but does essentially some of the same stuff, just expanded.
Recently, I've had a problem where I go to use the Stream Deck during a race and I push the button and nothing happens. It's on a delay. It's like it has to catch up. Like I'll push it twice and then eventually it'll go boom, boom. But I don't know what's going on with that.
USB power.
Well, also make sure, one thing I noticed with this is I need to, so if I've been using my mouse and doing something with my fourth monitor, I have to make sure that I've clicked my mouse back on one of my triples. Otherwise, my Stream Deck doesn't work at all. So that's one thing you maybe need to look at, Mike.
Okay.
All right, let's hit one more. We have a site called Build My Rig. It's buildmyrig.gg. And just taking a glance, it's what you think it's going to be. You can build your own rigs. You can compare specs between different products. So it's this kind of similar to what you might use if you were building a PC, except it's for sim gear.
This is kind of cool.
It is. I started building mine I was thinking, oh, this will be fun. And there was too many I had to manually enter too many of my products and I quit. And so this is the best one we've seen so far out of websites like this where you're supposed to piece together all your parts and you get a nice little list. It's not quite there yet.
We looked at one a few shows ago where you could literally, once you got it built, I thought you had like links to where you could actually go order the stuff. It would take you right to the website, just to actually order the hardware as well. I don't remember which one that one was.
Doesn't even have my chassis for mine. Doesn't have it advanced.
Maybe it's US based only.
All right, we gotta talk about one more hardware, David, before we go to results. I mean, because it's the big story of the week, I'm gonna scroll down to the Moza HMA 150 motion haptic motion actuator has been announced. Moza's at some kind of trade show in San Francisco. We've had videos and social media posts. So first of all, it's a 4-post D-box style motion rig, 3 DOF. All the hardware is built into the 4 different posts, and it has a really clean look to it. I don't think there's a separate power box or whatever, a big old control unit.
There has to be. If there's not, I'm fully suspect.
I read in the commentary that that you see how the top of those is all bigger than the bottom. That's where all the components are in the top of those. But I could be wrong. We don't have a lot of information about this. We do know that it's 4-axis, 3 DOF, does pitch, roll, and heave, 150 millimeter of travel, 300 millimeter speed, and peak acceleration exceeding 1G. And It's got haptics built in, 0 to 150 hertz vibration, low latency real-time feedback, and so forth. It has this intelligent control software called the Moza Motion Manager, which will provide motion for all kinds of titles, even without telemetry. The AI will simulate the motion of whatever you're playing. Apparently, um, and so as we scroll down, guys, you can see the videos and different things. They even have an AI software that will train you as you're driving, kind of thing. Like it'll show overlays of your lap against the AI's lap. You can sit back and watch the AI drive your car, and see how the AI does. Like it was literally controlling the Moza wheelbase, pedals, and gear shift, where they were moving. The AI was moving it. There was no driver. The AI was driving the car. And so I asked the team on the chat, "Oh, could I have the Moza AI run Vegas for me for the NIS?" Or, I mean, how is this going to play out? I mean, it was literally driving the car on a road course, and it was going fast. It was crazy how it worked.
Yeah,
Assetto Corsa.
I don't. Yeah, I'm suspect. I don't know. Um, like I told you, my only concern is the third bullet point here, driven by our intelligent control software, Moza Motion Manager.
Intelligent and their software don't go together.
That's my concern, and because of all the stuff you've dealt with, Mike, and like I said, when I think you posted this originally, and I think I asked, is it, when you get out of the car, are you still going to be moving around like your brake pedal that continues to vibrate and stuff when you're not in the car? So when you get out of the car, are you going to be doing all this because the rig doesn't stop?
Very well could be. Look, the software is definitely low hanging fruit. If you're in their Discord, you can see the frustration amongst the users.
But see,
Everybody has a different issue.
that's the problem, though, Mike. That
Right.
the software is what allows you to interact with the hardware. And if the software doesn't work right, that's a huge issue.
Yeah, I'm just flabbergasted that you're excited about this because there's better options on the motion side. It's not like the active pedal where there's only two choices. So don't spend your money on this.
Well, the thing that's exciting, I think, for me and others, David, there's a lot of excitement this week about this. It's the potential price point of it. When you compare it to like the cheapest thing out there is the story right above it, which is the RS Mega, which is basically 2,600 for the same thing. Um, speculation on what is Moza going to offer this product at. I'm thinking it's going to be under $2,000.
You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for, Mike.
But if it's 90% there, look, my pedals are kind of like that. My pedals are 90% there. Look, if I'm in the car and I'm rolling, the car is rolling, the pedals are perfect. They're perfect. But if I stop the car, then they're not. And so I can't say they're 100%.
That's the problem.
We'll have to wait for the review. We'll have to wait for Will Ford and see what Will Ford says.
Let's hope that Moza goes to the sim racing, or sorry, to the expos this year, so that we can actually test it out.
Look, somebody from Moza, I saw one on one of the videos, said pricing will be available later this year. Like it didn't sound like it was anytime soon. But look, I just bought my display. I'm like, okay, what am I going to buy next for the rig? And then boom, this pops up. It's like kismet, guys. Let's talk results. NASCAR iRacing Series at Phoenix Friday Open. David, P7.
Yeah, I just kind of stole this position by a 2-tire stop after having to spend the whole race fixing damage again.
Top 10's a top 10. Brad, P34.
Uh, yeah, I think Dave. I think we were in the same race. I think this is the accident I got caught up with. The guy got loose in front of you, and I think you hit him, and I couldn't avoid him. And yep. So accident lap 35. Ended my race. Too much damage. Just yeah, just crappy week at Phoenix. I don't think I've ever had a decent finish at Phoenix at NIS. A Open, not an issue. Ran third there last week, but NIS, I just can't seem to finish the races, and it's not. This one was not my doing. I had nowhere to go.
Tony Rochette, Sunday Open, P30. Caught in a wreck early on. Same old song and dance. Greg, nice P4.
Yeah, it was hearing all your guys' stories when I only get one start a week. It's like, oh no, am I gonna waste my one race a week just to get in a wreck? But nope, I was in the top 8 all race. We had two 50 plus long runs, or 50 lap plus long runs, and we had green flag pit stops. Um, Once again, the setup this week felt great on the long run. I think, Brad, I used one that you had posted with some changes or something to it, but it ran flawlessly in it. Saved tires, was able to make stay where I was, and I had a great. Actually, I felt really good. Phoenix has always been a good track to me, though, so I can't complain at that place.
Kyle Pendergraft, P8, started P15 behind Tony. Slow start to the race with plenty of cautions. Lap 18, running P6 and P7, overdrives turn 1, spinning me, and collects Tony and sends him to the inside, getting T-boned by another car, ending Tony's day. Repaired the damage and had a fast car. Definitely a long run setup, going from 23rd to 2nd and running down the leader after a 65-lap green flag run. Pitted with 60 to go and restarted 2nd. Couldn't find the speed and grip I needed to pass the leader and slowly faded to finish P8. Sunday fixed. I ran P9. Initially came from 23rd up to 13th. The second run, I faded a bit and I got wrecked. Not too much damage, but the car wasn't the same after that. Green flag stops at the end to split the run in half, and that saved me. Got a lot of spots from that, and I finished P9. Justin Pearson got wrecked out. Wednesday Open, Vegas. Tony Rochette, P28, was pinched against the wall when an asshat made a 3 wide. When I backed off, he wrecked the car next to me, causing damage. I just couldn't recover. Remember when iRacing used to be fun? David, P17.
I echo that sentiment. Uh, Screwed over by a caution timing, coming out right as I was coming out of the pits. So green flag stops, which just killed the track position. And then I got slammed out of line by a guy who cut the apron completely when here the apron is not a part of the racing service. And he came back up on the track and door slammed me. The protest did go through, but it'll probably just be a warning, whatever. He didn't stop to pee. There you go. Keep your counter. And I've been caught up now, counting today, 13 out of 14. If not, I've had one clean race where I haven't been caught up in crap in every single NIS race I've run, and I'm just getting sick of it.
It's got to kill your I rating. Brad, P21.
Yeah. So get back to it real quick. Yeah, wrecked again. So started P8. Was in this race with Justin. I was in the top 10. I think it was about lap 24. The leaders wrecked for, I think, the third time coming out of turn 4. Just guys really just completely overdriving the cars. It's absolutely stupid. While we got to race like idiots, when we're 30 laps into a race or 20 laps or whatever it was, I don't get it. But had the guy got loose 2 cars ahead, and the guy who was directly in front of me got turned sideways, and track was blocked. I had nowhere to go. I hit him, and then 2 more cars piled in. So 11 minutes of damage. I went 11 laps down, just getting enough damage fixed to where the car was somewhat drivable. I think I sat in there for, I don't know, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that. So 9 laps down, managed to get all the damage fixed, and got 7 lucky dogs. I made 7 laps back up. Stupid, absolutely stupid. This is one of the best tracks on the schedule, but unfortunately, no one in NIS can drive it. I'm trying to stay positive. I really am. It's just frustrating. The set this week is just stupid good on the long run from Premier Racing Setups. It is so good. And last night was just a wreck fest. I mean, again, when you can make up get 7 lucky dogs in a row, what does that tell you?
Title idea: 7 lucky dogs. Thursday Open, Joe Owen, a P3. Best result so far out of the group. And then I ran and got a P5. I was actually super fast, just like Brad. The setup was just a rocket. But I had a problem where I would spin out on my own about 3 different times throughout this race, right in the middle of the corner. I was totally embarrassed because I'm streaming my race. People are watching. Lost my track position each time. But every time I was able to drive back up through there. Was never really in contention to win it. Ran as high as second, but nice to get a top 5. David, P28.
Yeah, just continue to always be caught up in crap. This time we're in the early part of the race, and the guy that we know causes problems is pinching down too low and doesn't let me exit turn 4, and we both get turned. And 7 minutes of damage. Well, guess what? I actually got to get it all fixed, and I'm running like 13th at the end. And I get wrecked last lap by one of the other guys that's on our list of people who always cause problems, because he goes up and left hooks a guy that's up by the wall and turns that guy down into me, and I finished 28th. And now my I rating is not actually taking that bad of a hit because I've been in these races. I've been fixing all the damage, but if I hadn't been getting caught up in all this crap, I'd be competing for top 5s. Instead, I'm getting the car fixed with 10 laps to go and racing and getting lucky to get back up to somewhere in the top 15. And I'm pretty much just I'm already sick of it. I don't know how much longer I'm going to last. It's just not fun.
Moving on to Mech Sebring, Brad, Will, and Will, P4.
Yeah, so 6 hours of Sebring through the majors. Official results were finally posted this morning, so we were P4 in class, P11 overall. So happy there. Pretty chaotic start to the race. So with majors, you got to go into their Discord for the drivers briefing. And when we jumped back into the endurance chat, Westbrook got into, I think, the endurance chat 1, which Will couldn't get into. So he ended up getting in. It was all messed up. Well, William ended up having to jump in the car because Will was not going to get in time. So Will was supposed to start. Westbrook ended up starting. What it is. But so he avoided multiple accidents on the opening laps. He turned the car over to Weaver. He got into a pretty good rhythm quickly. I would take over. The two of them will do single stints. I just like to do a double typically and get my stuff out of the way. I just find it better for me to run back to back stints, and for me it's just easier to get into a rhythm just running 2 of them back to back. So I think I was in the car for about 20 minutes, and we got a safety car. So get a restart, and I think I was in top 10. But second lap going in, I posted the video in the team chat. But had a guy get turned going through the S's before Le Mans, and couldn't avoid him. I was okay from that damage, and then somebody just drilled me from the back, and all I saw was asphalt. That's how far up I was in the air. And then to get going, and then coming out of Le Mans, somebody else wrecked and ended up with tire damage. With suspension damage. So used our quick repair, but we ended up losing. I think we lost a lap with that. So that being said, I went ahead and basically did my other 2 full stints. So I was really in the car for about 2.5 stints. I was wore out. It's like about it's probably 2.5 hours, almost. Yeah, it was over 2.5 hours in the car. So finally turned it back over to Westbrook and to Will to finish. I would have a spin on I think my second stint on cold tires. And then Westbrook did the same thing. Kind of had a lazy spin early in his stint. A little bit of nose damage was affecting the top speed. That got fixed when Will got in to finish up. But yeah, frustrating. Had it not been for that accident and having to do the fast repair, we were quick. It would have been an easy podium. So look, I'll take a P4 in class, which was good. So we made up some points from season opener. We had a DNF, but yeah, just what kind of got away. Should have been a podium, but you know, just I don't know. A lot of the driving was pretty bad. I don't know how David's split was, but lots of protests, lots of penalties, and just watching guys do silly things in cars.
Okay, and then Tom, David, Kyle, P10.
Yeah, we were down a bottom split, had a pretty fast car. I was on my second stint, and a lapped GTP in front of us loops it in I don't remember which corner. It was one of the right handers. He loops it. I get stopped, and then get rear-ended and lose the wing. And I spun once on I knew the wing was gone because I saw it go flying in front of me, but I still spun in Le Mans. And then I should have turned the fast repair on, but it ended up being 3 minutes of damage. I didn't think I thought it was only gonna be about a minute, and I thought we could stay only one lap down and get it back when Nakashi came out, but it put us down 2 minutes, put us down 2 laps, and we never really got that back and just toughed it out. So I wish the guy behind me had better reflexes, but he didn't. He just drove right into us, and it's not protestable or anything. It's just a legit racing accident, I guess.
All right, final thoughts. Greg Hectus.
Just looking forward to. I guess I can get 2 starts this week because I can race tomorrow night and Sunday. So hopefully I can get some good laps in tomorrow at Vegas. Try out some of the new stuff yet. I haven't really gotten on the sim this week because it's been a busy week at work. But yeah, looking forward to NAS and next week. The next couple weeks of schedules. With you said the Ringmeister starts with the Liger car next week.
LP3. Yeah, we've been running it a little.
Leger.
Yes, the Leger.
Leger. Anyways, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Running some of that. I was gonna try the Rainmeister as well and see what that's like.
Yeah, come join the fun. It's one of the most populated series on the service, the Ringmeister. All right, Brad Wren, final thought.
I just want to give a shout out to Premier Racing Setups. So, we're what are we, 5 weeks into NIS, and the freaking sets have been lights out every single week. Been lights out. So super good. I was talking with Richard today, and every week I see him posting, on social media the number of wins for the week. And I was like, hey, Richard, I said, I see you doing that. I was like, by chance, I was like, we finished up with season 1, 2026. I said, have you got a win total? He said, I do. So between dirt oval, asphalt, oval, and then road, 836 wins.
What?
Yeah, 836 wins on Premier Setups. And that's just the guys that actually get on Discord and say, hey, I won. So, look, I've heard lots of discussion in the last few weeks in the NIS, guys asking about setups, who's running what, and whatnot. And look, Premier Racing Setups, you're not going to find anything better. Extremely great value for your money. On the NIS side, you're going to get 2 builders for the Cup car every single week, qualifying setups. You're going to get, basically getting 9 setups. 3 setups by builders for each builder and qualifying setups. You cannot beat it. Right now, I think the monthly subscription is $20. That's pocket change, and you've got super competitive race sets. I'm just telling you. So look, congrats to those guys. 836 wins that's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Glad to be partnered with them. Excited for the remainder of the year. And look, again, just go get your setups from PRS.
Yeah, and if you're me, you might even get a setup builder in your stream watching your race to see how it goes with the setup. And we had that today. AJ Stevens, who is filling in for Brandon this week, who's out, who built one of the Cup setups. He was in my chat listening into our team run today. Joe Owen giving a glowing review of AJ's setup to him. And yeah, he was even giving us some changes and different things as we watched. So that was pretty cool. Shout out to AJ for hanging out with us. But we're really happy with Premiere. David Hall, final thought.
Don't really have much today.
It's week 13. All right. My final thought is love my display I got from SimSport Gadget. And what I find is I'm not looking at the display when I drive, but I'm looking at the LEDs that are above and around the side of it. They're super bright, they're super visual. They're kind of in the periphery of the visual as I'm looking at the screen. So I'm really enjoying the LED part of it. I struggled the other night where I updated the Daniel Newman dashboards and the LEDs stopped working, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't have these not work." And I actually spent 2 hours trying to troubleshoot it. Slept on it, came back to it the next morning, ended up powering off the display, pulling the USB-C cord, plugging it back in, and that was the fix. And then SimHub picked it up again.
It's an Arduino issue. It's just like I messaged you, try that because it's an Arduino issue. I've had it happen, and I was the first time it happened to me. I was stumped. I'm like, what's wrong? What did I do wrong? Why is it not working? And finally, just if all else fails, Mike, just like your computer, Control Alt Delete, unplug it, start it back up. 9 times out of 10, it's going to work.
Well, I was restarting it, but I never unplugged it, and so that was the
You gotta
key.
unplug it. Yep. Yeah, you can turn it off and on, so but that doesn't do anything.
But yeah, absolutely love it. No regrets at all. Um, as far as racing goes, I was like I said, I was wondering what to spend my money on next, and this Moza motion system has really got my look. If it's 80 or 90% of what they promise, and the price is where I think it will be, I'm probably going to do it. I already started looking around my rig, like, okay, what would I have to change? Like the keyboard and mouse are kind of loose. I would have to figure out a different solution for that. Um, I don't know what else I'd have to do. I mean, I think it's pretty much motion ready. So I also wonder about wattage. Do I have enough wattage on this particular power circuit in the dining room to run everything I got going? And now that on top of it, I'm not even certain.
Mike will have a big orange extension cable running into the bedroom to power the motion.
Off a different circuit. Yeah, that's the workaround. So look, I live by myself, so I can get away with it, and I just might do it.
Knocks on the
So
neighbor's door, asks for some electricity.
hey, yeah, can I plug in over there? All right, with that, we'll see you on the track later. We got 7 title ideas.
Number 5.
I like 6. Vote.
5.
Okay, 5 it is. Good show, guys.
Yeah, good show, guys.